Are you a veteran considering using your VA benefits to purchase a home? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into 5 things you need to know as a veteran when using a VA loan to purchase a home. Before we get started though, I want to take a minute and introduce myself. My name is Jeb Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California. I'm not a mortgage professional, but the reason I bring this up because in this video, we're actually going to talk about the mortgage side of things on a couple of these tips. I have no bias. I have no reason to provide this information other than to provide clarity and to make sure you're getting taken care of and truly understand what you're getting into when using a VA loan. So understand that when I'm talking about the mortgage side of things, I'm not one that can help you directly, but I can refer you to someone, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. Now, before we get into the tips, I do want to take a minute here and say thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice, for the freedoms that you provide for this country. I'm very appreciative for all that you've done for the country, so thank you. Now, one of the biggest benefits of using a VA loan is the fact that you can purchase a home with no money down and no mortgage insurance. Now, how is that different from other loan programs out there? Well, typically when you're buying a home purchase requires some sort of down payment. And when you put less than 20% down to purchase that home, typically you have mortgage insurance. It's an additional fee that you pay every single month outside of your mortgage, the taxes, the insurance. And the fact that you can purchase a home with no money down and no mortgage insurance is a huge benefit when using VA financing. And of course, there are other loan requirements that are associated with VA loans, which we're not going to dive into right now. We will talk about some of those at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Now, if you're considering using your VA loan, one thing I really wanted to stress here, and one thing that I think is very, very important, and this isn't one of the tips that we're talking about in this video, but I think it's equally as important and something that you need to know as a veteran. And that is that you need to make sure you have your certificate of eligibility prior to actually buying a home. Now, you can work with a mortgage lender and have the lender get this document for you, or you can actually go out and get the document yourself. There is a veteran portal where you can pull this document. This document essentially verifies that you're eligible to purchase a home. Now, there are certain times of service, certain links of service that you have to have completed in order to be eligible to actually have VA benefits, to be able to use a VA loan. Just because you've served in the military doesn't necessarily mean that you're eligible to use a VA loan to purchase a home. And in my career, I've come across several occasions where veterans have gone through the loan process, told the mortgage professional on the other side that they were fully eligible to purchase a home, that they had their certificate of eligibility or that it was coming. And then at the last minute, they found out that they actually weren't eligible to purchase a home because they didn't serve, the certain time in the military or what have you. So if you're going through that process, make sure you're getting this documentation up front. A lender can pull it for you through their portal. You can also have access to this information. In some cases, you can't get it electronically. In some cases, you actually have to provide documentation to the VA for them to get this document to you. And so it might actually take longer than you think. And that's why it's important to do it up front so that you're not wasting time in the process and potentially getting to the finish line and not being able to close. Now, the second thing I want to talk about today with regards to VA loans is the fact that you don't have to go into your local credit union. You don't have to essentially shop online to find a VA lender. You can use a mortgage broker to do a VA loan. There's a lot of misinformation out there. The belief or the idea that you have to use your credit union that is essentially built for veterans, or there is a lender out there online when you search for VA loans or veteran loans that prides themselves on saying that they're the #1 lender for veterans. The fact is, these companies, both the credit union and that company, are for-profit companies. They don't always have the veterans' best interests in mind, and a lot of times they end up charging higher rates and excessive fees on these loans. And in my experience, it's much better to actually work with a mortgage broker. In these cases, you end up saving money, you end up getting better, rate, fees, and terms, and ultimately saving money on your monthly payment. Now, if you don't have someone that you don't have a referral, you have no idea where to start with that, do me a favor, click the link in the description below. I'll refer you to a mortgage broker that does VA loans that can guide you in the right direction. This is someone I know, like, and trust. And again, no skin in the game here, just want to make sure that you're in good hands and getting taken care of as a veteran. The third tip that we're going to talk about today is that VA loans are only for primary residences when purchasing a home. A lot of times I have veterans reach out to me, they want to buy a home, they want to buy an investment property, and they want to use their VA benefits to purchase that home. Unfortunately, when buying a home, using a VA loan, it has to be for your primary residence, a property that you're going to live in, as your home for a certain period of time. Now, at some point in the future, you can actually turn that home into an investment property, even with that VA loan on it. When you sign your loan documents, you're verifying that you're going to occupy that property as your primary residence for more or less a year. So at the period, that year is over, you can actually turn that property into an investment property if you wanted. There's nothing restricting you from doing that, but when buying a property using a VA loan, the initial purchase has to be for a primary residence. The fourth thing that I want to talk about in today's video is the fact that you can use your VA benefits more than once. You can actually purchase a home with a VA loan, and at some point in the future, if you decide to sell that home, refinance that home out into a conventional loan, you can also use those VA benefits again to purchase another home. But in some cases, maybe you still have a VA loan on a property out there, and you've turned it over to an investment property, and you want to purchase a new home. Maybe it's in another state, maybe it's in another city, and that new home is going to be your primary residence. You can actually use your VA benefits to purchase that home as well. In that case, though, it may require some down payment if you don't have full entitlement back on your certificate of eligibility. Now, I know that is tricky. You're probably wondering exactly what that means. We're not going to talk about it in today's video, but I can refer you to somebody that can explain it in more detail. But in many cases, it won't restrict you from purchasing a home using your VA benefits again. And the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is the fact that VA loans typically have better interest rates and more lenient guidelines than more or less any loan program out there. I often have home buyers reach out to me wondering whether or not they should use VA financing or use conventional financing because they actually have money for a down payment. They don't necessarily need the 100% financing, and therefore they don't think that VA loan is the best loan for them because they believe that it's only for those putting no money down and in some cases have lower credit scores. That's not the case at all. In many cases, it actually makes sense even if you have a down payment to do a VA loan. VA typically offers lower interest rates, as I mentioned a moment ago, than any loan program out there. They also offer more lenient guidelines. A lot of times credit score doesn't really play a part, doesn't really affect your interest rate in many cases. And also, they allow you to have higher debt to income ratios in many cases, in my experience. So in some cases, you might actually qualify for less home using a conventional loan with a higher rate than you would with a VA loan. The VA loan might actually provide you a better interest rate and actually allow you to purchase more home. So if you are wondering whether or not it makes sense to you, just get a comparison. Have your mortgage lender, your mortgage professional, put the loan program side by side using conventional, using VA, and seeing which one makes sense to you. At the end of the day, the numbers never lie, right? You'll be able to see using VA, using conventional, which one offers a lower monthly payment, which one offers lower fees, and then you can decide which one is the best for you. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you do need a referral, click that link in the description below. Now, earlier I mentioned loan requirements, additional loan requirements that VA has when buying a home. In order to keep this video short, what I'm going to do here is throw you to this video where I talk about VA loan requirements. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. But for now, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I appreciate the support. Have a great day. Bye-bye.